And hello, good morning, everybody. It's so great to be back in our deep listening stream. And it's been so exciting to touch base to some of our old members of the DL team here. And we have some new ones. So let's start with a couple introductions here. We have our new violist in Fifth House, Mason. How are you doing, Mason?
Great.
Good. And
Great to be here.
Kelly, Kelly's here, and Karen, and Grace. My name is Alessandro, clarinetist with Fifth House, and I'll be leading the stream today. And as always, we'd like to give thank you to the Center for Deep Listening and Lawrence University, our friends Leila and Brian, for introducing us to this wonderful practice that has changed our life as musicians and as just as well-rounded human beings, because all sound we consider is music. And part of this practice is involves movement and also dreaming, because we listen to our bodies too. And that's why we do a couple of stretching exercises to kind of relax, stretch your body, and create space so that we can hear better. So we'll start with a couple of these stretching exercises. Oh, I forgot Parker. Parker is running the stream, and it's extremely helpful getting us going here. We had a little bit of technical difficulties starting, but we are all here and we are very happy. So, this stretching your boundaries, and it's very simple. You're just gonna stretch out. You can just imagine you're immersed in a big bubble, and every time you inhale or exhale, that bubble is getting bigger or smaller as you're stretching your limbs in any which direction. I usually start with the upper body. I know Karen likes to focus on the lower body too, so imagine you are floating inside a giant bubble as you're changing shape, expanding and contracting. You can also call this a little bit of an impulse dance, because you're really just following your intuition as you're moving and stretching. Remember to keep that breathing part of the exercise and imagining that bubble expanding when you inhale and contracting. Go for the floor, maybe stretching in any which way you can and listening attentively. I know I really needed this exercise as I missed it. Keep breathing and stretching, maybe arching your spine backwards. You can also get inspired by others' movements. I like what Karen is doing, this shoulder Stretch. Stretching your fingers, maybe your hands. Okay. From that one, we're gonna go to our rise and stretch. And for this one, I want you to bend your knees slightly, like if you were sitting on a small stool, trying to find comfort in a very uncomfortable position. And then join your hands together and stretch also your wrist. I call this the prayer position. And then you're gonna go up. Have your hands lead the stretch up as you breathe in. And then when you get to the top, separate your hands and bring them to the sides and start sinking back in and coming into the original position. And then again, breathing slowly through your nose. Remember to have your hands lead the stretch, 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 stretch. As much as you can, separate your hands, exhale. Come back to the initial position. Let's do a couple more of this. You don't need to do them fast. I really feel the stretch. Stretch, 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 stretch. Okay, we're gonna do now a very similar exercise, rise and sink. This one again, start with your knees slightly bent. And as you straighten your knees, you're gonna bring your arms to the front like that. Then as you start sinking in, bring the palms towards your shoulders and back down to the sides of the legs. So up and then towards your shoulders and down to your legs as you're sinking back into your knees. Try to find a good flow of motion. Try to get keep your spine centered and poised as you sink into your knees. And try to find a good flow for your breathing. This is a very calming exercise. It helps with circulation too. You can find your own speed, whatever feels comfortable. I also like to think that I'm drawing big circles in front of my body, or there's a giant wheel, and I'm kind of showing the shape with my hands. that's it for our movement exercises. I do feel I did a little bit of exercise, but mostly, especially with this last exercise, I feel calm. I can feel my body going, but yet I feel extremely calm. So it's great. Breathing is so important, but we don't emphasize it enough. It's always a good reminder to have kind of like a determined or a natural way of breathing that makes sense with your body. And we're gonna go into, I always like to add a couple breathing exercises. We call it the EGM breathing gym for a reason. But this is a simple breathing exercise. So you're simply gonna take a deep breath, and then on the exhale, you're gonna hum. And as you're humming these sounds, I want you to feel the vibrancy of your hum inside your head and in your body, whatever that feels like when you're humming. When you're about halfway empty, you're gonna change from humming to hissing. So, you're completely empty. You're like, your lungs are gonna compress all the way, and then when you feel like breathing, just allow the air to come into your lungs naturally. Should we unmute? Yes, of course. So the very last part, the natural inhale, I want you to bring awareness to what it feels like and what your lungs do naturally as you take that breath out of having no air in your lungs and then expanding back. So let's take a deep breath. Hum. So a couple more of these. And one more, just because I love breathing. you so much. Those of you who are wind players, we usually get told or advised to breathe a certain way and do step one, two, and three, and then you create these concepts on how things should be done properly. But actually, the most efficient way is what our bodies do naturally. So that's why we emphasize that natural way of breathing. I think that's a better way to go as wind players. And now we're gonna have our sound activity. I think we have done this one a few times. It's called Urban and Country Meditations by Pauline Oliveros. Pauline Oliveros was one of the founders of this beautiful practice, and he creates these text cores, which are very simple instructions that we follow, and we basically improvise or create sounds together because she believed that creating sounds or making music is a birthright, and that we all should be, you know, welcome to create sounds together. And that's why we are here exploring how we can create sounds in community. So, Urban and Country Meditations in 1981. And this one, you're gonna listen to a roadway with your eyes closed, distinguish size, shape, make of a car by the sound, also the speed and health of engines. So if you can imagine those sounds, maybe you have them. I know Grace can open her window and we can always hear the L, the train going by. That's perfect. Anything mechanical, industrial sounds. So we're going to create some of those city sounds, some urban sounds. It'll take a couple minutes to do that. And you can use your instruments, your voice, or recordings if you want to use your phone.
Perfect. We're gonna have to slow down, ma'am.
Bow down! Now imagine you're gonna go into the countryside, sit by the trees. What kind of trees make what kind of sound? Any nature sounds like wind, rain, animals, bugs? We'll kind of mix the two, like a city landscape. You have nature, and also you have those urban sounds. Okay. Thank you very much for joining in this creative space here. And yeah, let's allow a few minutes for a share back. What were your feelings about it? What was your experience?
I'm gonna speak up, okay? Um, I am up in Wausau, Wisconsin, and I've never been here before. And we moved to an apartment so my husband can work up here on a contract, and I can write my book and play with you guys during the day. And I thought, oh, let's take this beautiful complex, it's very quiet, and they have like a dirt company right next door, and all day I hear boop boop boop, and I'm trying to write my stuff, and I'm like, you can't live here on an island, obviously, so
Yeah,
you got to take what you get.
absolutely.
So this exercise is like, yeah, I'm doing this every day, and I'm glad that we all can be a part of my symphony of noises that I hear. But then there are these beautiful birds and all this other good stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Absolutely. We have a lot of parks around here where I live in Evanston and Skokie. So it's like the mix of the city and these beautiful parks. It's kind of, I always get inspired by that. And yeah, Parker was saying that whoever was making the water sounds, that was awesome. Yeah, I agree. And we had some instruments going. Here we go, Grace. Excellent. Great creativity. Mason, how was your first deep listening experience here?
It was good. I was just thinking similar to what you were saying. I'm also in Evanston. I'm in a more residential area, so the wind was going really heavily during the nature part, which was interesting.
Well, thank you for joining us again. We are so happy to be back, and we'll be back on Thursday. And thank you again, Karen and Kelly. We love you. And thank you for being so supportive. And to all of us creating new sounds and being in this wonderful space, congratulations. I'll see you very soon. Take care.
Hey, Grace.